Another important sector of the Indian economy, that is railway. So railway is considered to be the backbone of the Indian transportation and Indian economic integration. Our railway route is around 68,000 kilometers presently. If we look at the stats, at time of independence we were 54,000, and from since then, in around 75, 77 odd years, we have reached 68,000. Whereas, if you will see the progress of China, it reached from 27,000 kilometers of rail network in 1947 to around 1.5 lakh kilometer railway track system in 2025. So, talking about getting back to Indian Railways, our Indian Railways provide employment to around 12 lakh people, and out of this, if we see how many people are indirectly employed, so the number will further more increase. Then 2600 gazetted and non-gazetted posts around 2,61,000 are vacant. So we can clearly see there that there is a vacancy issues in railway. Then 1.4 billion tons freight is carried by railway, and 8 billion ton 8 billion, sorry, not ton, 8 billion people are carried by railway. 90% of the routes of our railway system are electrified. So, is railway environmentally sustainable? So, there was an article in PIV. So, it says that 90% less CO2 than road. So, railway is emitting 90% less CO2 than what is emitted through road transport. And around 2 lakh crore worth fuel is used by railway due to electrification. So basically, you all know that train moves with the help of electricity. To generate that electricity, around 2 lakh crore worth fuel is consumed. Then 143 million tons of emission is done by railway. That is equivalent to around 121 crore trees. But still, the railway is important for our troop management, movement, and it is also important for our national integration. Now, what are the issues? Specifically, talking about the issues of the railway sector. So, the operating ratio is 98.2 rupees to earn 100 rupees. It is said in the CAG report. So if railway is earning rupees 100, it has to spend around 98.2 rupees to sustain itself, to sustain its operations. So this ratio is very poor. And also along with this, India has a low rail network growth, as we have seen compared to China. And apart from this, the spendings are less and the operation cost is more. Then there is subsidization. So close to around 56,000 crore, uh, that is the amount which is foregone as subsidization for passenger ticket. Then if we compare from 1940 to 2020, goods and transport graph, for railway it has increased to 60, for road it has increased to 60%, whereas for railway it has decreased to just 30%. And another issue with our railway system is only our eastern freight corridor is operational among all the dedicated freight corridor. Only one, that is the eastern one, is operational. Rest are not yet operational. Then we have security related issues also. So the coverage system which we have is costing around 50 to 70 lakh per train per kilometer. So for every kilometer and for every train it is 50 to 70 lakh, and only 2%, just 2% rail track is covered till now. And the speed via which we are covering it, it is estimated that it would take 50 more years with the same revenue to cover 100% tracks. So this is a major issue. Then freight is 65% revenue, but it still faces the congestion issues. You all might have seen that the malgadis are uh, often and often made to wait on the outer areas of the station for the passenger train to pass faster. These malgadis often suffer. Then there is also a drop in outlay for track renewal. It is just 7.2% now. And the average speed of train as compared to China. So the passenger train in China's average speed is 100 kilometer, whereas in India it is just 50 kilometers. If you look at the freight speed, it is 25 kilometer per hour in India, whereas it is in China 60 kilometer per hour. So there is a huge gap between the average speed of train, and this shows the concern related to our railway sector. Then about 72 crore is allocated for R&D, but the spending out of this is only 35 crores. So almost half is spended out of what is allocated for research and development in railway sector. Then obviously there are punctuality issue. If you see, the overall time taken is decent from I mean from starting point to the destination point. What the time period it uh, claims is almost similar to what it is achieving in real terms. But if you'll see interstation timings, no, there is a lag. So for example, if a train is moving from Bhopal to Delhi, and it is, the railway says that it will take 12 hours of time, so no doubt it will take around 12 hours of time to move from Bhopal to Delhi. But the issue is, within Bhopal to Delhi, there are many stations, and the delays are caused in these particular stations. Then we also have centralization in decision making. Why? Because there is a railway board, and it is controlling majority of the decisions of the railway. So what measures the government has taken? So via the PM Gati Shakti program, we are trying to increase investment in the railway sector. We also launched Amrit Bharat Station scheme. So basically, it is focusing on modernizing the railway stations with modern amenities. Then we introduced Vande Bharat high speed trains. So from Bhopal to Delhi, earlier it used to take, from Rajdhani it takes around 8 hours, and for other normal trains it take around 12 hours, 11 hours. But from Vande Bharat it merely takes 7.5 hours. Then we have eliminated manual crossings. So almost around 98% of the railway tracks which used to have those manual crossings, fataks, are now been eliminated, and a overbridge has been created. Then we have mission net zero carbon by 2030. It aims 100% electrification by 2030. So this will be solving our environmental concerns. Then the dedicated freight corridors. Currently, only the eastern freight corridor is conditional. So we are in progress, and we are focusing to make the other one also uh, operational as soon as possible. Then we also have a Kisan Rail. So basically, this ensures that farmers can take their produce to the markets easily. Then in way forward, we can say that expedite station modernization under Amrit Bharat station scheme. faster completion of coverage, improve passenger amenities, and revenue diversifications will be the step in right direction. And this is not I am telling, but the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Railway has suggested these measures. Apart from this, you can also mention the recommendation of Vivek Debroy Committee. For example, the Vivek Debroy Committee has given recommendations in the railway sector to promote more of private public partnership. And a very good example of this is Rani Kamlapati station situated in Bhopal.